Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranam Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, San Prabhuji, Danvat Pranams to everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranams Mataji.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranams Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranam Mataji.
Dandavat Pranam Krishna. Hare Krishna. Let's
Hare
start.
Krishna Mataji, Pranams Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranams Mataji.
Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, Pranams Mataji.
Krishna. So today is verse 34, right? Yeah.
34 Mataji.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jagdiraye Nashtaprayashu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th chapter, 6th canto, 9th chapter, verse number 34. Durava bodha iva tavayam vihara yogo yad ashrano asharira idam ana vekshi tasmat samavaya atman eva vikriya manina sagunan agunaha sujasi pashi harasi. All right. Venkat Narasimha Prabhuji, go ahead, please.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Duravabodha iva tavayam vihara yogo yadasarano asarira yadam anavekshita asmat samavaya atmanaiva avikrayamanena sagunamaguna srujasi pasi harasi. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you. Madhumai Krishna Kanta Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranams Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Duravabodha ivatavayam vihara yogo yad asharano asharira idam anavekshita अस्मत् समवाय आत्मनैव अविक्रियमाणेन सगुणम् अगुणः सृजसि पासि हरसि. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Madhusoni Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Duravabodha iva tavayam vihara yogo yada sharano asharira idamana vekshitasma matasya samavaya atmaneva avikriya manena sagunam agunaha srijasi pasi harasi. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Usha Devati Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranams Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Durvabodha iva tavayam vihara yogo yat ashrano asharira idam anavekshita sitama tasmat samavaya atmanaiva kriyamanena sagunam aguna srajasi pasi harasi. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Krishna. Repti Ratnangi Mataji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Pranams Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Durvabodha Ivatavayam Viharam Yukayat Asorana Asharira Idam Anaveshitasman Samavaya Atma Vane Vikriya Manena Sagunam Agunaha Sujasri Basi Harahasi. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Chitra Moini Mataji. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी प्रणाम्स माताजी नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय दूरवबोध इव तवायां विहारयोगः यत् अशरणो अशरीर इदम् अनवेक्षित अस्मत्समवाय आत्मनैवा अविक्रायमाणेन सुगुणा अगुणा सृजसि पासि हरसि. हरे कृष्ण माताजी.
Thank you. Shubha Rao Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम.
Mhm.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय दुरवबोध इव तवायं विहारयोगो यदशरणो शरीर इदमनवेक्षितास्मत्सववाय आत्मनैवाविक्रियमाणेन सगुण सृजसि पासि हरसि. हरे कृष्ण.
Thank you. Durava Bodha Vijay Kumari Mataji. Miss Mataji. Hare Krishna. Mataji, you can unmute. Alright. Durava Bodha, difficult to understand. Iva, quite. Tav, your. I am this. Vihar Yoga, engagement in the pastimes of material creation, maintenance, and annihilation. Yat, which. Asharanaha, not dependent on any other support. Ashariraha, without having a material body. Idam, this. Anavekshita, without waiting for. Asmat, of us. Samavayaha, the cooperation. Atmana, by your own self. Eva, indeed. Avikriyamanena, without being transformed. Saguna, the material modes of nature. Aguna, although transcendental to such material qualities. Srijasi, you create. Pashi, maintain. Harishi, annihilate. Translation by His Divine Grace Sharma Pasha Bad Ki Jai. O Lord, you need no support. And although you have no material body, you do not need cooperation from us. Since you are the cause of the cosmic manifestation and you supply its material ingredients, without being transformed, you create, maintain, and annihilate this cosmic manifestation by yourself. Nevertheless, although you appear engaged in material activity, you are transcendental to all material qualities. Consequently, these transcendental activities of yours are extremely difficult to understand. Purport by His Divine Grace Sharma Pasha Bad Ki Jai. Okay. Sorry, Hare Krishna. Dhamma Samhita, 5th chapter, verse 37 says, Goloka eva nivasati akhilatma bhuta. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna is always situated in Golok Vrindavan. It is also said, Vrindavanam parityaja padam ekam na gacchati. Krishna never goes even a step from Vrindavan. Nevertheless, although Krishna is situated in his own abode, Golok Vrindavan, he is simultaneously all-pervading and is therefore present everywhere. This is very difficult for a conditioned soul to understand, but devotees can understand how Krishna, without undergoing any changes, can simultaneously be in his abode and be all-pervasive. The demigods are understood to be various limbs of the Supreme Lord's body. Although the Supreme Lord has no material body and does not need anyone's help, he is spread everywhere. Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avyaktamurtina. Nevertheless, he is not present everywhere in his spiritual form. According to the Mayavad philosophy, the Supreme Truth, being all-pervasive, does not need a transcendental form. The Mayavadis suppose that since his form is distributed everywhere, he has no form. Since his form is okay, this is untrue. The Lord keeps his transcendental form, and at the same time he extends everywhere in every nook and corner of the material creation. ओमज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले कृष्ण स्वयंरूपद गदामह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुस्ते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिव सादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नमामि विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नामने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे Oh Lord, you need no support, and although you have no material body, you do not need cooperation from us. Since you are the cause of the cosmic manifestation and you supply its material ingredients without being transformed, you create, maintain, and annihilate this cosmic manifestation by yourself. Nevertheless, although you appear engaged in material activity, you are transcendental to all material qualities. Consequently, these transcendental activities of yours are extremely difficult to understand. Okay, we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam 6th canto, which is called as the prescribed duties of the mankind, chapter 9, which is called as the appearance of the demon.
Of the demon
Remember
Vritasura.
Asura. So, who's praying to who here? Quick recap. Who's praying to who here?
The Devtas are praying to the Lord.
Yeah, so the Krishna has appeared in front of the demigods on the plea of their prayers, and after they see Krishna, they are offering these prayers out of awe and reverence for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. These prayers are filled with awe and reverence. Like, that means, like in Aishwarya Bhav, oh Lord, you're so great, and we are so small. You know, there's this distinction, like you're so great and you're so small. It's a fact. It's not untrue, but this is a prayer in awe and reverence. This is not what the Brajavasis pray, but nevertheless, the Lord's transcendental qualities have been described, and one must become fascinated by hearing these qualities. The demigods are no ordinary beings, right? They can, by dint of their austerity, they can attract the attention of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Krishna appears for them. Krishna appears for so many demigods all the time, right? You must have read a few verses ago that how Swambhuva Manu, when the whole creation was getting flooded, he tied the boat on the Matsya avatar, and then how he was saved by Krishna. So Krishna appears for so many of the living entities every time, everywhere. Okay, so they're praying that Supreme Personality of Godhead, we know that we are small. We are not able to understand who you are because we are very much locked into our own concocted ideas, and also we think that we are separate gods. I says, Krishna, actually we know that you have no material body. Actually, we know that you do not need any cooperation from us. It is very well known, also known that you yourself provide the ingredients in the unmanifested form for formation of this material world, and you yourself create, maintain, and highlight everything you're doing. And it is like, it looks like you're working so much, you're engaged in so many material qualities, but we also know that you're untouched by all these qualities and all these activities under all circumstances. And these transcendental activities of yours are extremely difficult to understand because there is no one else in our domain of experience who is like that. So what quality is explained here? What quality is explained here? Can you tell me what tattva is explained here from? We study this in Bhagavad Gita also. We study this in Chaitanya Charitamrita also. We are studying this in various places in Srimad Bhagavatam also. What is this called as? You are one with the material energy, but you're also separate from the material energy, both at the same time. What is this? I think Jiva Goswami.
Is it
Achintya
Achintya Bheda Bhed?
Achintya
Yeah.
Veda Veda Tattva.
So Achintya Bhed Abhed Tattva. So Bhed Abhed, simultaneously separate and simultaneously one. So Krishna is simultaneously separate, simultaneously one. Prabhupada opens the purport by saying Goloka Eva Nivasati Akhilatma Bhuto. Krishna is always situated in Golok Vrindavan. And he says Vrindavanam Parityaja Padam Ekam Na Gachati. Krishna never goes even a step from Vrindavan. So how come, he's situated in one place? He's a village boy, but he's also Supreme Personality of Godhead, maintaining everything. Very difficult to understand. Few verses down, we will read that how the demigods are actually giving a disclaimer that it is very hard to understand Krishna from logic and arguments. Okay, then how do we understand all these contradictions which exist in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which are apparent? They're not real contradictions, they're apparent. By the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by the devotional service, act of devotional service, by following the cult of a parampara, a bona fide parampara, we understand this from that how Krishna is so unique in his qualities. Only Krishna has these qualities. Right? Krishna, nobody else has the qualities which Krishna has. Only Krishna, that's why he's God. So say, okay, if this is also like a litmus test. If somebody says I'm God, then say, okay, are you situated simultaneously in Goloka Vrindavan and simultaneously in every nook and corner of this creation? Are you? You see, our vision is so covered by our vision is so covered by our own, uh, the ego covers the intelligence. Okay, the ego covers the mind. So the ego that I'm this body, it covers the intelligence, the real intelligence, which can actually help us to get out of this material world. But the real ego covers the real mind, where the real mind means mode of goodness, means it thinks of nothing but Krishna. But the real ego, because we are whenever we are awake, sleeping, semi-conscious, in all levels of our consciousness, we are very busy in feeding that identity of ours that I'm this body. It's a fact. We are very busy in feeding that particular identity that I have defined for myself, that I am this body and this is good for me, this is bad for me. I was hearing a class today by Swami Bhagavan Keshav Maharaj, and he was saying that Jiva Goswami says that there is one thing that prohibits the soul from going to Krishna. And then that one thing is subdivided into three categories. But there is just one thing that holds the soul back from going to Krishna. Now, I thought he's gonna say that soul's desire to be the enjoyer, soul's desire to be God, independent of Krishna. But you know what he said? The Jiva Goswami says it's one thing which holds the soul going back to Krishna. Soul belongs to Krishna. I belong to Krishna. That's my belonging. My belonging, which has two words, be and longing. So I actually belong or be longing for Krishna. I belong to Krishna. But what is that one thing that Jiva Goswami says? Jiva Goswami says the one thing is duplicitous behavior, duplicity. So in that, and then he says this duplicity, let me see if I remember, is categorized into three subdivisions. What are the three subdivisions? The money, the effort, and the love. Says, okay, this duplicitous behavior, this duplicity actually is subdivided into three categories: the money, the effort, and the love. Says, okay, the money. Okay, so one may have artha, one may have what they can give to Krishna, but one holds back. So that leads to one, restricted movement towards Krishna. Says, okay, Krishna is there, I am there, but I have to protect myself with these things. Okay, now the second thing is the effort. Okay, one may give one's artha or to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but may not give the effort, may not be there to actually fully engage by the prana, artha, vacha, by words, mind, and body to serve Supreme Personality of Godhead. So one is held back, that duplicious. Okay, I will give this, but I will not give this. But it says love. One may give money, one may also give the effort. One can give both, but does not give love to Krishna. Does not give love. There is awe and reverence. There is no love in the purest of pure sense. So that also holds one back and it feeds into the duplicious behavior. Actually, what Krishna has is what we have. Like, actually, I'm never going to die, right? If you literally think about it, that the body will terminate when the time comes. It's the soul will have to find a new place of habitat, for to say, either in material world or spiritual world. I'm not gonna die. So in that way, it's never is the same thing that I also exist eternally. So now these prayers, we can understand the quality of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which are exclusive to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which makes him God. And this is Aishwarya Bhav, like opulence or power of Supreme Personality of Godhead. And one can become, Prabhupada says, by such prayers, by such, one must be captivated by this information. In 15th chapter Bhagavad Gita, he writes that one must be captivated by this information that there is a place, that tad bhashyate suryadna shashankena pavakaha, tad gatva na nivartante, tad dhama parama mama. Prabhupada writes in the purport, one should be captivated by this information, that actually there is a place that we can go and we don't need to worry about. That place is not lit by the sun or moon or electricity, and one who comes there never returns back to this miserable place. But we are not captivated. We know theoretically, okay, most of us, Bhakti Maharaj said that 99.9% people practice Krishna consciousness so that their material life becomes comfortable. But one who has to become comfortable with the uncomfortable. One needs to be able to do things which please the Supreme Personality of Godhead and not one's own self. And we study that from the life of the great acharyas. Nevertheless, coming back to the main point, this particular prayer is in a lot of awe and reverence, is glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead or his transcendental qualities, is glorifying his unique quality of being present in his own abode, is being transcendental to all the qualities but still managing the material affairs and being present in the material affairs. So that makes us convinced that Krishna is God, because all the demigods are also approaching Krishna and offering prayers to Krishna. They're not, and they are, validating that only Krishna can save them at the time of distress, when their own life is hither and thither because of the appearance of Ritsasura, because of the yajna that was done by Twashta, because Indra killed Vishwarup, because Vishwarup was cheating on by giving oblations to the demons as well at the time of the sacrifice. But somehow or other, in the bhakti cult that we are in, the Rupa Nugas, who's Rupa Goswami, who's called as a Rasacharya, somehow or other, these prayers are wonderful. These prayers are bringing us close to understanding at the jnana level that how powerful Krishna is. Somehow or other, it still leaves a gap, doesn't fully satisfy the heart. But when we read about the pastimes of the Vrindavan, the devotees of Vrindavan, how they're loving Krishna, like just pure love. This is what the pure love is about. Bhakti is about pure love, right? Then that fully satisfies every inch of our existence, because that is what that is what we are actually should be aiming for. How we can be trusted by Krishna, not how we can trust Krishna because he's so great, he's such a big personality, he's God. Yes, but the higher level of bhakti is how Krishna can trust us, and that can only be learned from his interactions with the devotees in Rajvasis, in Raj. I think I'll stop here. Any questions, reflections, realizations, or corrections, complaints? If we don't know, when we go in front of deity, if we don't know what to say or how to glorify, there's a need to remember these prayers then. I remember this prayer from Srimad Bhagavatam where Krishna, you were glorified like this. So you go in front of Radha Govind and start glorifying Radha Govind by at least doing these words or prayers. Okay, that's how you establish the connection with the deity. The deity's worship is for establishing the connection of a person with the deity. It's not so much about that Krishna is looking for a servant and then we recruit servants. No, it's about connection. It's not about so much about awe and reverence. When I go to Gita Nagari and I address the deities, my friend, so three pujaris are dressing at the same time, right? Because there are three sets of deities, Radha, Damodar, Lalita, Vishakha, and Karanitai. So, so I see my friend standing right next to me on the altar, and she's dressing Radha Damodar. And one time it was getting late. I remember it was a few years ago. It was Ram Navami. I remember I had dressed and I had cleaned the altar and I had made the space ready, the prelims ready for offering plate to go. But she was still busy with Damodar's, Damodar's crown. So intricate detail. She was still like very, very busy. And I said, I told her that the clock is ticking. We have to. Prabhupada said deity worship means timeliness. So she didn't say anything to me. But then later in the day, when we were walking in Gitanagari, she told me that when I'm absorbed in the deity worship and I'm absorbed in dressing Damodar, it's a deep meditation for me. And if you can please not get me out of that by showing that what's waiting outside. So I understood the zest of deity worship is not so much about showing one's artwork or one's exaltedness in Krishna consciousness. It's about establishing a connection. If you have ever seen Namanishta Prabhu, if you have ever peeked him doing the deity worship, it will be very hard to get the glimpse, but I had the fortune. You'll see that there is like this connection that you feel that these devotees are feeling in the heart with the Lord. To us, it is not visible, because it's like simultaneously, Krishna is in the form of a metal, but Krishna is in also God, and he's literally there. So depending on, how much level of realization one has in Krishna consciousness, one will be able to relate to this. For others, Krishna will stay as Krishna. They want to see Krishna. But for a devotee, the deity can talk, the deity can walk, the deity can interact, right? I think any questions reflect. Prem Prakash